Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rad Rides. This is Hassan Shirazi. To the left of me is a 2008 BMW B7 Alpina, and today I'm going to be reviewing it. This is a very special car coming from a very venerable brand, both BMW and obviously a specialty tuner called Alpina. And we're going to be test driving it. We're going to be telling you some of the engine specs, braking, suspension, and a few other things, exhaust, about this car and what makes this BMW Alpina B7 a special car. If you're new to this channel, make sure to check out my previous videos about another Alpina BMW. That was a 2015 BMW B6 Alpina Grand Coupe, a very nice car with a lot of power. And I've also done a couple of other videos about BMWs. One of them was my own personal 1991 BMW 325 IS with a manual transmission. And the other BMW that I did was a 2021 BMW M440i X-Drive. And as usual, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That's one of the ways that gets our channel growing. And I hope you like this episode about this beautiful car. All right guys, now let's tell you a little bit more about this 2008 BMW Alpina. As some of you have already watched my video about that 2015 B6 Alpina Grand Coupe, Alpina is a separate brand than BMW. And what they do, they have this little contract with BMW for many years, if I'm not mistaken, since the early 70s, that what they do is once BMW builds a car, they tell BMW the color code that they want this car to be painted in, depending on what the customer has ordered. And then BMW does that, then they ship the car to Alpina's factory, and Alpina does their own tweaking to the suspension, exhaust. They change the exhaust in a lot of instances. Also the braking, the wheels, they lower the car by a little bit, and they take out the engine and they do their own in-house changes to the engine of their cars before they badge it as an Alpina. And you can definitely spot an Alpina car from a non-Alpina by the way that the badging is done, especially these multi-spoke wheels that you see, the Alpina side skirts, the ground effects, and the aero package that you see. And inside of the car, they also badge a lot of the Alpinas, like the steering wheel, the seats, the gauges. There's a lot of places that you can see the customization made by Alpina to make this car differentiate from a normal BMW. And this joint cooperation between Alpina and BMW has been working for them, and I suspect they're going to be doing the same thing for many years. It's a very unique relationship that BMW and Alpina have together, and this car is one of the cars that demonstrates this, along with many other models that they've had working together throughout all these years. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the engine of this car. Alpina has taken a BMW's 4.4 liter V8 that comes in their 750 series BMW, and they obviously did their own little thing to it. They changed the crankshaft, they changed the pistons on it, they added a different type of exhaust, the Acropovic exhaust, and one of the most important things, they added a supercharger to this car. Now this car pumps out about 500 horsepower and 515 pound-feet of torque, which is actually a significant amount, and it has made it to the ground via a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's called a 6-speed ZF transmission. It's a Switchtronic transmission with manual shifting modes on the steering wheel. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about the wheels and brakes on this 2008 BMW B7 Alpina. The wheels on this car are very special. These are the 21-inch multi-spoke classic Alpina wheels wrapped in 245/35 Michelin Pilot Sport tires in the front and 285/30 Michelin Sport Pilots in the rear. What's interesting about these wheels is that you don't see no valve stems in here. What Alpina did, just like a lot of other things that they do with the suspension and exhaust and tuning, is form follows function. They put the valve stems inside of the center caps, or underneath the center caps, that it's hidden. Yes, it's aesthetically, it looks nicer, but they did this because it helps with the balancing of the wheels, especially these cars are meant to go at a higher speed. As far as the brakes, Alpina has borrowed BMW 760 Li brakes. These are the 15-inch rotors that you see, and the calipers, if I'm not mistaken, they're at least 4 or 6 piston calipers. They're really beefy brakes. These big brakes can definitely ensure the driver that this car can come to a standstill at his command without having any type of issue or problem. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the interior of this BMW B7 Alpina. Very, very nice, handcrafted. You can definitely see that a lot of quality work has been done to this car. These are very, very comfortable Lavandina leathers. That remind you, this is a 15-year-old car, but they're still holding up really nice and tight. I know this car also has a very low mileage. One thing I like about these seats that you see is that this little area right here, the pillow area, that you can actually kind of fold, and it kind of curves around your neck. That gives you more comfort, obviously. I really like this maple wood trims that you see all throughout this car, and they're just really, really high quality. When you touch it, you can definitely tell. Another thing that you see in this car that has set it apart is this 3-spoke steering wheel, and you also see the plus and minus for the 6-speed ZF Switchtronic transmission, and really love how it's nice and stitched. You got the green stitching here, you got the blue stitching here. These blue and green is the colors of Alpina, and obviously you got the Alpina logo right in the middle of this steering wheel. You also have Alpina badges inside of the instrument cluster. And although this car is old, obviously the navigation system and everything is old, but just the quality of craftsmanship is really, really nice on this BMW. Besides that, a lot of the things on this car is basically a BMW 7 Series. You got the controls for the seat, heated seats, air-conditioned seats, memory seats. You got the notorious or infamous BMW's iDrive. And obviously you got the basic settings for the climate control. This car also has a CD changer. Yes, this is the time that people had CD changers. I love this headliner on this car. Very, very nice and smooth. And this is one of the most important things that you see is the badge, the plaque that signifies that this is indeed an Alpina. And as this says BMW Alpina B7. Obviously got the controls for the sunroof. The rear passengers of this car get their own climate vents, and you even have a little climate vent in the B-pillars. That's very nifty, and I guess it's a piece of German over-engineering. These doors also have something called a soft touch. If you see, when you kind of bring the door over here, it closes for you, so that's really nice and nifty. This is featured on all the doors on this BMW Alpina. Really, really like a couple of the features that you see on this car. You have your own lighting over here. You even have a little vanity mirror over here. That's pretty nice for the rear passengers. Just the quality of the materials in the door panels, the headliner, everything is very, very nice and sharp. Okay, guys, now let's talk a little bit about this exterior styling of this car. Very, very nice, subtle BMW 7 Series. This is a mid-2000s era. It's got the BMW's dynamic xenon lights. Yes, this is before the LED lights. Really nice. I've always liked the lights on BMWs. They have the angel eyes, if you remember, in the 5 Series and then 3 Series and obviously 7 Series. You got the kidney grills. Signifying the BMW. Then this is the part that obviously Alpina has added. This is the aero effect, and you can definitely see the word Alpina over here. Really nice fog lights that you see to finish off the front of this car. We already talked about the wheels of this car. These are the 21-inch Alpina specific classic wheels. Going to the side, you got this really nice rocker panel that is Alpina specific. Really nice jet black on this car. Nothing much besides that has been done to the car to change it from what the BMW came up, and obviously got the 21-inch wheels in the back. And this is one of the most significant pieces as you come to the back of this car, this rear Decklid spoiler meant to reduce the drag, and it gives obviously a touch of Alpina to this car. And it's actually very nice, subtle, but it does mean business, and you can definitely tell. And obviously the badging Alpina and B7, and you got the little bit of the aero effects on the back, and this is the Acropovic tuned exhaust, and it makes a glorious sound. Take a listen. Driving this BMW B7 Alpina, it's very smooth. Big car. Obviously this is a 7 Series. This car has only 38,000 miles on it, and that makes it a very, very low mileage vehicle in general, and a low mileage high performance car. Love this 3-spoke steering wheel. that Alpina has added to this car. Absolutely amazing. We're gonna take it to get a little bit of driving on the highway. I'm gonna give it a little bit of gas, guys. Oh wow, definitely has a nice pull to it when you press it all the way down on gas. Give it a little bit more gas. Wow, when you punch it down, you can definitely feel how much power this thing has. So it's not extremely fast off the line, but when you're on cruising speed, like I'm doing 60 miles an hour, and then you just press down on the gas, it just goes. This is for 2008. Remember, my Lexus ISF is also a 2008. That one is a naturally aspirated, has 416 horsepower. This is obviously supercharged and has 500 horsepower. Different cars for different body styles and different classes, but it's just amazing. This is a very, very nice car. Definitely going to be a future classic. The quality of the craftsmanship that has been put in this car, and it's just an amazing car. This is the second Alpina that we've done the review on. This first one was a 2015 BMW B6 Alpina that was actually a lot more, had more settings on there, so you could make it faster. This is a different car. This is a bigger car, much bigger car than that car, and obviously it is 7 years older as well, and it has a little bit, I think if I'm not mistaken, about 100 less horsepower. Special thanks goes to the gentleman that let me review this car, and I'm very, very appreciative, and it's a both experience for myself, and I'm glad that I could share that experience with you guys as well.